Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your November the 9th spiritual principle day in a meditation. The title of the meditation for today, Kindness in the First Tradition. We learn to treat others with kindness and respect and do what we can to support each other and our group. That comes from it works, tradition 1. Few of us come into Narcotics Anonymous with effective social skills. We often acquire them by trial and error, mostly error. When we unintentionally mistreat others, we feel terrible and become teachable. The good news is that some of our best lessons come from our mistakes. We call our sponsor, tell on ourselves, figure out our part, and determine better ways to handle similar situations in the future. We are at our best when kindness inspires our words and actions. When kindness is a priority, we're more likely to be supportive, and that helps us grow as individuals and as in A groups. Naturally, it's easier to be kind to those we love, but we don't have to open our homes and share holiday dinners to honor our mutual stake in Narcotics Anonymous. Being a home group member challenges us to practice kindness with folks who aren't in our immediate circle. Our investment in the well-being of NA is more important than our personal feelings about any specific member. We put the welfare of the group first and treat all of our fellows with respect, regardless of baggage or bitterness. Friendship is not a prerequisite for kindness. Rather, we are kind in order to foster unity within the group and to support personal recovery, our own and that of our fellow members. The simplest gestures of kindness can make a world of difference when we are feeling stuck. I was isolating and thinking about using. I got a text from a fellow home group member who asked if I was going to the meeting. It was just the push I needed, a member shared. Our actions have a profound effect on others as well as an impact on our self-image. By choosing kindness, we improve ourselves as we contribute to NA unity. Our actions make NA meetings safe and respectful places for personal growth. The way we treat each other and our group is a reflection of how we put we before me. I will treat other members with respect and kindness today. I will act in ways that support recovery, yours, mine, and ours. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Kindness in the first tradition, talking about, unity, right? One of the ways that I learn is through my mistakes. Through my mistakes, I am able to, with the help of others, oftentimes, figure out what I did wrong. And a lot of times I already know. And what I need to do different. And what steps do I need to try and bridge the gap between me and the situation, the person, the circumstance. And I think that's how most of us learn. The beautiful part, hopefully, Hopefully, I say hopefully because not everyone is mature enough to allow other people to make mistakes or to feel let down and allow people the same level of room that we want to be able to make amends. We don't often allow that. I knew they didn't like me, or I can't believe they said such and such about me. As long as I have breath, and probably long after I don't have breath in my body, I am subject to be judged, to be talked about, to be mistreated. And I am, as a human being, probably subject to, let's say probably, I am subject to do all of those things. But the beautiful thing about Narcotics Anonymous is that it acknowledges, it helps me to acknowledge that all of that is possible. Staying clean regardless is possible. And allowing myself and others room to grow from mistakes, to double back, to paddle backwards and correct situations. It's almost a given here. It's almost a given here. That's why it's very surprising when someone's been around the program for a while and they don't allow room for error from themselves, but especially from others. And that's what I was thinking about as I was reading this. My life is greater when I treat others with kindness. There's less work for me to clean up in my 10th step, right? But that doesn't mean everyone is operating out of that same desire. Some people are just natural gossips. They don't have anyone that can check them. They're the ones that think or say, who's going to check me, boo? Right? They're letting you know, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to say what I want. I stand on all 10 toes, right? I stand as a man or a woman on my own, and I'm going to do exactly what I want to do, regardless to what anyone thinks about it. Yeah, there are those people in the fellowship that all they do is run their mouth. All they do is gossip about other people. They never have a kind word to say about anyone. They'll act plenty kind in the presence of others, but in reality, in their inner circle, if they have one, they're not kind at all. And eventually it will catch up. Eventually it will catch up and people will start picking up. Oh, so if I talk to you, I am most certainly going to hear about this at the meeting or in the smoke circle outside, right? Things that you know you've only shared with one or two people come back to you. And people start to learn this person is not that way. They're not trustworthy. They're not someone that you can run to. A lot of times I will have people talk to me in confidence. And I'm not really sure where I get this from. In the moment, I'm right there with them. But when the conversation is over, it's almost as though I've never even heard anything they've said. And I'm not bragging about that because I could see, with a client or someone, being offended that you don't remember that they told you this specific detail. I can see that. But quite honestly, I can't hold that kind of information for long. I'm too much of an empath, right? Things affect me too much internally for me to be able to hold everyone's story, everyone's issue. And for some reason, I'm wired in the way where I can receive information And it's almost as soon as we've discussed it, talked about it, you've gotten whatever it is you thought you needed encouragement to deal with the situation. It's almost like I never heard it again. Because I know I told you that. Maybe you did. Maybe you did, but the information is not purposeful for me. It's purposeful for you and for you to know and understand the parts you played and what you need to do different, if there is anything different, or what your reaction needs to be, what's your responsibility and what's not. Not me. I'm just a sounding board. As soon as that sound hits me, I hold it until it's resolved and then I release it. That's my kindness. It's a gift, but that's my kindness. Are you being kind? Enough about me. Are you being kind to those around you and those in the fellowship? And if you're not, why not? You pretty much know whether or not you are being supportive and kind to other individuals. You pretty much know if you were a fly in the room, what would be said about you. And if it is, don't fool with her. Don't fool with him. There's a lot of people in the room that you can deal with. I would not recommend that you tell that person any of your business. I would not recommend you fool with them on a deep level. Fine if you're in a group and y'all all having coffee, but that is not a nice individual. They're messy. You pretty much know what others would say about you if you were a fly in the room. And in that knowing, how much of it is true? That's all I'm asking. How much of it is true, excuse me. And what can you do to try and turn that around? What can you do? I've spent probably 20 years making the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous, making amends, a living amends in regards to how I treat people. So it can be turned around, but it takes time. Now, when my name is mentioned on the end of someone's tongue, it's not that girl's crazy and violent. That's not what they say anymore. That's not the first thing. Some old timers might want to put that out there, but I have put a lot, decades, into changing my reputation in the fellowship. So let's work on that. We can work on that together. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you. I hope that you have a beautiful day on purpose. You deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. So go out there and be great.